forward line for the Geelong Amateurs side, Barry, but, well, we're in a little bit of disarray early stages of this third quarter.
There's the ball out of bounds on the centre wing, Ron, and boundary umpire to bring the ball back into play. This quarter is do or die for the amateur side for mine as we see the ball brought back into play. A good throw in. Tapped down by Bent, but Jones bursts his way through the pack court with the ball. Dragged to the ground and we'll have a ball up. Centre wing, down to ground it goes. Up they go. Bent brings it to turf again. Tapped wide by for amateurs there by Bain. Picked up and kicked forward down towards half forward for the North Geelong side. Over the back of the pack it goes. Farrell for the amateurs, cleans up, gets a little kick around the corner. Got back up support now. Kicks the ball down here towards the centre wing. A diving attempt to mark there for North Geelong by Vivian, but it comes off his chest over the line and we'll have another throw in.
Okay, Baz, well, can the amateur boys get back in town?
From the throw-in, we see Jones at the bottom of the pack again, and another ball up is forced upon the umpire.
That bruise seems to have dropped a little bit, Barry.
Yes, it has, Ron. Bounce of the ball on centre wing. Up they go. Alford grabs it out, or spins out of trouble, gets a handball or a short kick away, where it's picked up there by Byzantine. Down to half forward they go. Coming across strongly there for the North Geelong side was Smilovic. He couldn't do anything with it. Handball out to Lillingston. He's kicked down towards centre wing. Set themselves. Thump back forward for the North Geelong side there by Skoko. Kick forward now, down to half forward, where we see Simpson put a tackle on his opponent there. Bottle the ball up, good play Simpson, but it's handballed out by the amateur side. Simpson's there again. Kicks round the corner. The wing keeps the ball in play. It eludes one North Geelong player, but Byzantine's in there. Tries to get a handball out. Close to the boundary line. Picked up here by Malakalis for the amateur side. Goes across where Big Bent gets it. Oh, very slow, getting rid of it. Gives it to Macca. Macca's handball over the top. Puts a player under pressure. He does, cop one from Maroney, and will receive the free kick.
Yes, and a little bit of undisciplined football left too from Little Rover in young Maroney, but still back to the footy.
The kick down forward there by Wilson, a shocking kick straight into the waiting arms of Vivian.
Well, we see now that Daryl Jones with the ball, breaks clear at half-back, goes to the outer side of the ground. Good use of the body there, Robbie Dick puts his opponent there in Middleton out of action. Now Dick with the footy, goes up there, good lead. Oh, but he tripped at the crucial time, was Widdowson. Play on, call the umpire, and this has allowed the big fella Reynolds to break clear for the amateur side and go long. He's kicked that 65 metres out to that half-forward flank. Looks up there for his teammate there. I think you'll find that was Mark Bain. He can't trap it. The loose ball now picked up by Timmy Macca. Feeds off the quick hand pass. Opportunity now for the amateur side, but good strong mark. Last line of defence by the ruckman for the fabulous Magpies in number 15, Andrew Vivian.
But there was no purpose in amateurs thrust there, was it? They just kicked the ball up high.
Certainly did.
At any rate, the ball goes out the half-back, handballed on there by Bellwood, gives Byzantine a chance. He picks the ball up, dodging, weaving over on the centre wing, gets a kick down to half-forward, but backing back, taking a good mark for the amateur side is Simon Farrell. Plays on quickly, kicks the ball towards the corridor. Macca was pushed out of the contest there. Good play. Simpson comes bursting through for the North Geelong side. It's down to the centre wing where we see amateurs try to get it out, but it's bottled up here by the North Geelong players. It spills free now. Picked up here for North Geelong. Oh, very slow getting rid of it was the player Skoko, and very untidy play at the moment as we see amateurs get a handball out, but it's picked up there by Craig Farrell for the North Geelong. A high kick towards the centre of the ground. Big Bent gets a kick down towards half forward. They set themselves down there, knocked away from the player down there in Ryan by the North Geelong defenders. Over the top of the ball, but the umpire's going to ball it up.
Well, the ball now 40 metres from the Geelong amateur goal, Barry, and they're really in desperate need of a six-pointer. We've been travelling about 5 minutes of this third and vital quarter of football. No scores have been recorded, so amateurs still trailing by 31 points as the ball now is kicked out wide, and I think you'll find it's gone over the line and out of bounds.
Yes, that was off the boot of Alan Maroney. He's playing well around the packs here this afternoon.
Had a lot of touches, hasn't he?
He has, as we see the ball brought back into play. Over the back of the pack it goes. North Geelong bursting their way through court with the ball. Dumped to ground. The umpire will move in and ball it up. From memory, Ron, there hasn't been a free kick paid for holding the ball in the tackle, has he, this afternoon?
No, there's not a lot of reward there for the boy without the ball, and surprised me.
Right, the ball out of bounds, half forward flank for the Amateurs side. Welcome to the fresh air of Saturday afternoon calling.
It's good, isn't it?
The wide open spaces as we see the ball kicked down towards the centre of the ground. Amateurs, a bit of misunderstanding there. They overrun the ball on half back. They pick it up now, but it's a pack of players developing over there on the half forward line. Now the ball comes free. A high kick towards centre half forward. Up they fly. The mark's built there by the player for North Geelong in Skoko. And it's been forced another ball up. Very untidy play at the moment, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Barry. And
there's no method in the Amateurs attack.
Boys probably still a little bit cool, and maybe the long break at half time has taken the edge off them as we see that the ball is kicked out wide members side of Osborne Park. Working hard now. Oh, good use of the body. That's how you do it from an accomplished footballer in Timmy Schwennerson. Picks it up and goes long, but there's nobody home for the fabulous Maggies. As a nice grab taken by Brad Thompson.
Thompson now from half back to drive Amateurs out of defence. Kicks the ball across towards the centre of the ground. Tapped on here. Should give the advantage here. Yes, good umpiring as a free kick was paid to Amateurs, and it's picked up for him nicely there by Andrew Smith. Oh, caught. The ball spills free. North Geelong tidy up. Handball to Vicentine in the centre of the ground. He handballs to Maroney. Maroney goes to the running teammate there in Bellwood. Spears it down looking for Swennerson. Over his head. Gives Spence a chance. He can't pick it up at the moment. Falls over, handballs to Swennerson. Swennerson handballs out. Alford into an open goal. Number 2, Neil Alford.
Gee, that Schwennerson and Widdowson, I love the way they get that ball out. And on that occasion, it was Widdowson with quick hands and set up another great passage of football for those fabulous Magpies. A very handy goal coming, Barry, at the 8.5-minute mark of this third and vital quarter of football. The Delta Carpets third quarter scoreboard shows North Geelong 11-11, 77. Convincing leaders over Geelong Amateurs 6-4-40.
Right, the ball back in the centre now with the central umpire. Puts it to turf. A good bounce again. Up they go. Neither ruckman take advantage of it. It comes down with Jones. It has got it, but it's held to him, and we'll have another ball up.
Hasn't been really an outstanding player on the ground, Barry, has there? To date?
No. You know, everyone for North Geelong's doing a little bit when required. As we see Big Bent pick his own knockout up, but it's his kick smothered. Players are going nowhere at the moment. As the scramble for the ball in the centre, the umpire letting him go. Now it comes out wide. Oh, trying to socket a ball off the ground was the Amateurs players. Picked up by Alford. Chips one round the corner. Got a teammate there. Good pick up Farrell. Farrell kicks down towards half forward where he's got Swennerson running onto the ball. He's well shepherded. Well done there, North Geelong. Swennerson spears it into the 10-yard square, but chipping across there. Taking a mark for Amateurs is Paul Middleton. Plays on quickly down here towards half-back, but there's no one home, and the mark's been taken for North Geelong by Craig Farrell.
Interesting, the two Farrell boys from respective sides wearing the number 2 jumper. Barry, wonder if they're related.
I don't know. The kick down forward, brought to turf, punched to the boundary line by the defence, and we'll have a throw-in the forward pocket.
And both done a very fine job for respective sides here this afternoon. As we see the ball now out of bounds some 5 metres from the North Geelong goal. And there's 37 points deficit at the moment for the Geelong Amateurs side. And, well, they've got to work pretty hard out there as we see that the ball now with quick hands there. That was good football. Tony Spence there to his teammate in Neil Alford on the left foot. But unfortunately...
Emergency umpire going for a little bit of a gallop.
Yes, he was, wasn't he?
Took a while to get his tracksuit top off, and everyone had dispersed. Right from the boundary line, throw in the team ball out here to Maroney. He gets a short kick down towards the forward line. Desperate in defence now as the Amateurs player as it comes out with handball. They go across the face of the goal, kick the ball out towards the half-back flank. Good mark for the North Geelong over there on the far side of the ground. Taken for them by Bellwood. Kicks towards the corridor, looking for Maroney and found him. Gee, the two Amateurs fellas didn't even have a go at that, Ron.
No, I think they just lacked the judgment there, Barry. The ball a little deceptive in flight into that breeze, tended to hover, but the better judgment again came supreme, and on that occasion it was Alan Maroney with better judgment now from 45 metres. The drop punt's a nice kick too. Holds up in the bruise. It's fisted to ground, but Sharky, it sweetly was Tony Spence. Gee, isn't he an opportunist up there in the goal mouth? He's kicked his fourth.
Yeah, kicked 4 goals here for North Geelong this afternoon, and you know, they're just doing it so easy for a side that's on top of the ladder. To be quite honest with you, I'm disappointed with the effort of the Geelong Amateurs so far.
Well, yes, their first quarter, Barry, I thought was quite good. They've jumped away from the blocks really nicely, kicking 5-3 to 2-7 at quarter time. But now, well, the scoreboard tells the story. That's the Delta Carpet scoreboard. North Geelong 12-11-83, Geelong Amateurs 6-4-40.
Right from the centre bounce, we see Amateurs go forward with a short kick 10 metres where Macca picks it up. His handball's intercepted by the North Geelong defence as they burst their way out of trouble again. Picked up by Skogo, kicks down to half forward. Racing onto the ball is Dick over there in the half forward flank. From 50 metres, spears a pass down over Widdowson's head, and the mark this time taken by Ben Reynolds.
Reynolds now in the back pocket, kicks long. That's the order of the afternoon too. It's a lovely kick, but there's nobody home for the amateur side as the loose ball now is well kicked off the carpet from Paul West. The loose ball now out wide. Tripping at the crucial time there was number 9 in Cruz. He lost the ball, goes in again strongly, fists it over the line and out of bounds on the at a half forward flank, some 80 metres from the amateur goal. And well, Barry, we've been travelling around about 14 minutes of this third and vital quarter of football here. GDFL football match of the day, this round 14, Saturday 18th of July.
Amateurs again kicked the ball very high down towards their forward line. The mark taken in the centre of the ground by Timmy Macca. Macca now plays on. Kicks the ball out here to half forward flank. Up they fly, and the mark taken on the 50 metre line that's been taken for Amateurs by John Ryan. Right, Ryan from 50 comes in. A nice kick off the boot. It's not going to come round far enough, and through for 1 point.
Well, for the Yatey fans, Wayne Yateman, the number 47 jumper, is back on the ground for North Geelong after his little faux pas in that first quarter. As I'm pretty sure he'll be pleased to get back into the action, Barry.
Yes, a kick out from fullback out over the 50 metre line. Up they fly, thump the ground. Bain runs onto the ball for the Amateurs, runs inside 50, kicks the ball towards the pocket. Jones back there. 2 North Geelong players go up, and Jones will be paid the mark. Oh, one of them hurt themselves too in that encounter.
But he's tough stuff out there, Baz, too, and it's Daryl Jones. Let's hope he's okay.
Yeah, Vivian got the kick.
Kicks long too. Beautiful football from the big ruckman. Looks there for Bellwood, but he can't take the mark. And again, another throw in on that outer side or defensive side of Osborne Park here this afternoon.
Right, the ball's brought back into play. Alford grabs it out the ruck, handballs it back towards the half-back line. Picked up over there for North Geelong. Oh, he's crunched after he kicked the ball, and the free kick will go downfield for the North Geelong side.
There was nothing in that, Barry.
Visentine gets the free kick. Got to come back. Now, why didn't the second umpire take over there and let play keep going?
Inexperienced umpires, Barry.
You know, it's sort of North Geelong had a run on there from that free kick. It was kicked down to half forward, and Dick had marked, and he was heading off towards the goal line. Right now, coming off the ground is Simon Farrell for the... No, it's not number 1, West for the amateur side. Going on is Justin Andrews. Right, the kick taken now, down towards the half-forward line it goes. Tapped over the back of the pack. North Geelong get a quick kick down over Swennison's head, but he's going to be first back onto the ball. Look at a strong play. Oh, Nelly flipped it across nicely to Yateman there, but unfortunately it's been rushed through for 1 behind. Right, the kick from full back out towards the half-back line. Up they fly. North Geelong in front couldn't take the mark. Malacallis is in there. Gets a handball out, but it's back with Visentine now for the North Geelong side. Screws one over his shoulder. Thumped towards the boundary line there by the Amateurs player in Hamey Williams, and we'll have another throw in.
Well, Barry, it's time's getting on in this third quarter. Amateurs not really making much leeway here. We've been going about 15 and a half minutes of this third and vital quarter. Pretty tame footy, isn't it?
Yeah. nearly put you to sleep at the moment.
Certainly is.
As we see North Geelong now with handball, get it across to Craig Farrell. He's over the handball over the top to Spence. Spins around, a long kick towards the goal, one behind.
Well, he's blotted his copybook, Tony Spence. He's first behind here this afternoon. Something to get excited about, Barry.
Right from fullback now. The kick, another lovely kick out from fullback over there. Up high was number 15 in Andrews, but unfortunately he was up before acceptances and the free kick goes to North. They drive the ball back towards the pocket. Jones, better judgment, takes a mark, hits the ground, plays on quickly and from the boundary line. Don't tell me he's kicked it. No, he hasn't. 1 point. You're away with the birds there, Ron. What are you watching out the other side
well,
here?
there's a few personalities in the crowd. Gordon Hines from North Shore, Johnny Kerr, of course, Barry. Well, Delta Carpets, don't forget the greatest floor show in Geelong, Barry. Give Paul Anderson a call on 214-222 for your carpet requirements.
From the kicking, we see Alford pick the ball up at the back of the pack, kick it back towards the 10-yard square. Widdowson going back with the flight of the ball, couldn't take the mark. Socket off the ground by the defence out towards half-back line where we see first in the race for the ball is Andrews for the amateur side. He's hotly pursued and tackled. The ball spills free, close to the boundary line. Amateurs waiting for one another to pick this ball up. Oh, they're in trouble. Handball over the top allows North Geelong to come through. Kick the ball back in towards the corridor. Luckily for Amateurs, they're all at home now. They kick it out here towards centre wing. No one home for either side. The ball bounces cruelly for Amateurs. Picked up here by Cruz. He kicks the ball back towards the corridor. The mark taken in defence for the amateur side by Williams, was it?
Yes, good call, Baz, and he goes wide. Long out there looking for his teammate who's in front there in Johnny Ryan. Picks the footy up, looks up the ground, goes bang up to the corridor. The lead was there from the big full forward in Mark Collins. But again, those fabulous Magpie defenders stand firm. Feed the hand pass off to Vivian. He's quick kick up the half forward. Looks there for the leading Schwinnerson. Taps it on in front of him now. Comes in strongly for the leather. Met solidly there by Bent. Now jumping over the top of the pack was Richardson. Picks the footy up on the left foot. Goes up there to Macca. But Skoko not paid the mark.
No.
Dumps the ball out to centre half forward. That's dangerous football for North Geelong. As we see now, a quick kick around the corner for the amateur player in Keys. But again, the Maggie defenders doing well and thumped the ball over the line and out of bounds some 30 metres from the amateur goal. We've been travelling, let's have a look, Baz, 20 minutes of this third and final quarter. Good shot of the crowd out here, a good crowd enjoying a GDFL football match of the day.
Right from the throne, we see Williams try to burst his way through for Amateurs. Handballs it down further forward, but Cruz comes across half back, bursts his way, has one bounce, steadies, kicks out wide towards the centre wing. Now, players running for the ball over there. Jones goes in, Spence rather goes in, picks the ball up. Kicks the ball back towards centre half forward. Coming out in front is Bain for the amateur side. Traps it well. Runs through centre half back. Drives down towards centre half forward. They set themselves down there. Over the heads of the players it goes. Handball out there by John Ryan to his teammate who kicks down towards a 10-yard square. And it's gone through.
Yeah, great goal. Yeah, great goal, Paul Middleton. And I think you'll say Schwarzer would be very happy with that performance on the left foot. And let's hope that the hamstring is okay because he's got his left thigh heavily strapped, Barry.
Yes, they've brought him out of defence, Ron, and to try and liven the forward line up. And that was a good goal on the run for the amateur side, but they need a couple more very quickly to get back into this game.
Certainly do. The Delta Carpets scoreboard this third quarter shows that the Geelong amateur side have kicked that goal. They move on to 7-5-47. North Geelong 12-14-86. And don't forget for the greatest floor show in the Geelong Delta Carpets.
Right from the centre, Byzantine gets another kick up towards half forward and a strong mark taken by Alford. Right, Alford kicks it down towards the half forward line and a mark taken on half forward flank for the North Geelong side by Swinnerson.
That's two. I normally do one a day, but not two. Scott Parker's done it again.
Right, Swinnerson from half forward. Beautiful kick. Has gone wide though. 1 point.
Well, Timmy, 2 goals, 7.
full back. The ball's kicked out towards the half-back flank, and the mark's taken over there by Justin Andrews. Andrews plays on quickly, kicks towards the centre of the ground, and finds a teammate there in Andrew Smith. Smith now, from the centre of the ground, a wobbly old kick down to half-forward. In front, taking a good mark for the North Geelong side, is Andrew Vivian.
Played well too, the big fella. Goes to Skoko, who he's been a fair performer too for the Maggies. Look, his disposal's spot on and finds Craig Simpson at centre wing. Simo wastes no time. On the left foot, pops it up there looking for Moroney, but it can't find the target and is over the line and out of bounds. Some 50 metres from those fabulous Magpies' goal.
Right from the boundary throw in, players set themselves. Alfred grabs the ball out of the ruck, handballs out wide where he's got Dick kicking towards the 10-yard square. Over the heads of the players it goes across the face of the goal mouth and out of bounds.
Well, we see that Paul West back on the ground at the expense, I think you'll find, of Danny Wilson.
Boundary umpire brings the ball back into play. Tap down here for the amateur side. Comes out where going in there for them is Richardson. Gets it about 10 metres away. Socket off the ground by the North Geelong players. A kick over the shoulder. And Swenison's kicked another point.
Timmy, baby. I'm running out of room here, Barry, for Timmy. 2 goals. 8. Just as well he's got his wrong kicking boot on. Otherwise it could have been all over Red Rover for the amateurs.
Right now, waiting for the amateurs to bring this ball back into play. Favours the scoreboard side of the ground. Kick out to half-back. Thumped away by the North Geelong players. Heading towards the boundary line. Bain for amateurs and Widdowson. And it goes across the line and we'll have a throw-in right in front of the scoreboard here at Osborne Park.
Yes, that's the Pizza Hut scoreboard, Barry, too. Looking pretty impressive there for the North Geelong boys. Ball back into play. Big fist away there at the back of the pack was from... that player number 12 in Scotty Lillingston, but didn't get any distance at all there, Baz. And
a Windy Wolf.
That's the one. And again, a little bit flat.
Right, the ball comes back into play. Alfred grabs it out the rack again. Good handball to Dick. He's kicked towards a corridor where we see North Geelong being held without the ball. There was Bellwood, but amateurs clean up through Malacallis. He runs across half-back. 1 bounce, 2 bounces, steadies now. Kicks wide out towards the centre wing and close to the boundary line, and over it goes. We need something to liven it up, Ron.
Yes, a little bit of a biffo would probably help us.
Right, the ball comes back into play. Thump down here, but it's North Geelong at the bottom of the pack again, trying to get this ball out, but the pack develops and the umpire will be forced to come in and ball it up.
Be a bit of a concern for the amateurs coach, wouldn't it, in Peter Murray?
Yes, because, all right, North's got a run on. Amateurs just can't seem to get any system in their play at all, can they?
Certainly not.
Normally if a team gets a run on, at least the other side comes back and might kick 1 or 2 goals, throughout the quarter and look as though they're sort of stemming the flow, but they haven't penetrated at all since quarter time.
20 minutes of travel of this third quarter as we see that Daryl Jones, the skipper, break clear at half-back. Under pressure, his hand pass was well sharked there by Lillingston. He couldn't trap it cleanly though and has allowed North Geelong through the agency of Skoko again. Quickly kicking up there to half-forward and Yady takes a fine grab. The hand pass now. Sees Moroney trap it sweetly. Does the blind turn. Kicks quickly up to half-forward. But, good work, Tony Spence. Good football. That was cool in the crisis. That was Schwennison to Spence because Spency just kicked it, Barry. And I tell you what, opportunity here for the fabulous Maggies, but North Geelong can't quite do it as we see that the amateur boys rush through for a minor score. Have a look at this looking ugly little brute down here. What's his name again?
Billy Cedar.
Billy the Cedar. Good on you, son.
Right, the kick in from fullback out to half-back line. Swenison goes up, thumps the ball forward for the North Geelong side. They gain about 10 metres. Coming through is Farrell from amateurs. A long handball to a teammate in the centre of the ground. Handball again comes across where it's grabbed here by David Mitten. Has 1 bounce. tries to run around Byzantine. He does. Steadies. Kicks the ball long down towards the forward line. Up they go. Reynolds couldn't take the mark. Hits the turf. He's back in there again. Gets a handball out to a teammate. They chip the ball round the corner looking for Timmy Macker, and they found him on the 50-metre line.
That number 8 jumper, Barry, you can't contain it.
Been very quiet today.
In and out of the game. Started well, Barry, but second and third quarters have let him down. Coming in from 50 metres, the drop punt. It's a lovely looking kick too, and I tell you what, he's made of ends there. Kicks a great goal. Timmy Macker kicks his third. There's the old veteran, enjoying a cold cleanser too, in the number 20 jumper. Gary Birch, still a veteran of many games out here, represented the reserves earlier in their great win over Amateurs. Good on you, Gary. Keep the good work up, son.
Ride the ball back in the centre. A good bounce by the central umpire. Up they go. Vivian thumps it down. Tap further forward. Spence with good handball out to Bellwood. Bellwood's kicked down to centre half forward, where we see going through Alford. Taps the ball ahead. No one can take it. Gives Yateman a chance. Bursts through. Steadies. Has a long shot towards a goal. Backing back. Swinnison couldn't take the mark, and it's gone through for 1 point off the boot of your mate.
Wayne Yateman, or Yatey, as he's known to his close friends. And that fresh air is still pretty fresh, Barry.
Tell you what, just as well you're not in the caravan. Right, the kick in from fullback reaches half-back line, but it's North Geelong in the van again. Amateurs with the numbers now. Handball over the top where we see Thompson run through centre, kick it to centre half forward. Marked there by Macker. Back to Thompson. Thompson out here to half forward line. In front, Amateurs couldn't take the mark. At the bottom of the pack now, they're trying to get it out. Good play, Simpson, North Geelong. Keeps the ball ahead of him. Gets a quick kick, but he kicks into the man coming towards him, and that was number 40 for the Amateurs side, and Johnny Ryan gets a kick. It comes back to him. Oh, he kicks it over the line on the full.
Not a lot of purpose in that one, Johnny. But that's what pressure does to you, Barry. And we're under all sorts of pressure here this afternoon.
Right now, North Geelong through Ryan. Kick the ball around here towards the centre wing. Up they go. Malakalis couldn't take the mark, and it's going to be thrown in. They look a very despondent side, Amateurs here, don't they?
Yes, they may have capitulated, Barry.
Right from the throw-in, it's Jones again for the North Geelong side. Tries to shovel it out. Goes out where Williams goes through for Amateurs. Gives a handball to Bent. Bent's quick kick down towards the forward line. It hits the turf. Cruz comes through for the North Geelong side. Over the top he goes to Ryan. Ryan now. Another handball looking for Craig Farrell. He just couldn't make it. Tapped out the back for Amateurs. Oh, copping a high one there from Bellwood was the Amateurs player. But the umpire calls play on as Byzantine tries to get it out. It comes now where it's picked up here for the Amateur side, and a long shot towards the goal off the chest of a player down there and rushed through for one behind. Ryan to bring this ball back into play for the North Geelong side. A lovely kick out towards the half-back line through the hands of the Amateurs player. Picked up by Farrell for Amateurs. Chip one into the centre of the ground where he's found Malakalis.
Jimmy Malakalis now. Is he like his brothers? Can he kick it a long way? No, he can't, because, oh, yes, he has. He's done this big spiral torpedo. Kicked it 70 metres, but the siren has beaten him, Barry. That's the three-quarter time siren here at Osborne Park. GDFL football match of the day, captured by guest video cameras, sees that at three-quarter time, a very handy lead to those fabulous Magpies. Dick Philpott will be delighted. Good on you, Dick. North Geelong 12-18-90. 26-point leaders over the North Geelong, I should say Geelong Amateurs. 8-6-54. And my recollection, that is 36 points. Comfortable victory, or lead, I should say, to the North Geelong fabulous Magpies. And Barry, your thoughts on this final quarter here coming up shortly?
Well, the third quarter I thought Amateurs would have come out and, really got stuck into this game, but they look very despondent. They've got no cohesion, there's no method in their attacks. They're just getting the ball and thumping it up high, allowing the defenders of North Geelong the easy ride. They're putting the pressure on the Amateurs forward, but the way the ball's going into their forward line, they've got no system whatsoever, and yet when North Geelong go forward, they're looking for teammates through handball or knock-ons or something like that, and it's just been too easy for the North Geelong side. Everyone was thinking that today's game would be a hard, tough game, but gee, North Geelong have done it easy.
They certainly have, Barry. Looks like they're going to be inflicting the Geelong Amateurs' second loss for the 92 season, and that could be of concern coming to the latter part of the season. Finals just around the corner. But still, it's a week-to-week proposition, this great game of ours, Barry. Australian Rules Footy. Time will tell in September. We'll be back shortly for the action here of the final quarter, round 14 of GDFL Footy Match of the Day.